Welcome to Spectrum Perspectives, real talk with parents, professionals, and autism advocates, with your host, Cindy Gellermini.
Hi, everyone. This is Cindy with another episode of Spectrum Perspectives, and today I have Sabrina on with her son. Is it Regan or Reagan?
Reagan.
Reagan. Okay, just like the president. Okay, I can remember that. Okay, hi, Sabrina. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Every mom that I have on, I start in the beginning. I just want to do it quickly. When you were pregnant and through your delivery, was everything normal? Were there any red flags? Did the doctor say that there might be cancer? Could be anything?
No. You want me to talk on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
There he is.
Yeah, Reagan. He does have a swearing stem.
Okay.
Well, I was going to try to have to bleep. Might be a lot of bleeps.
Okay. Well, is that a Tourette's or no? Or it's just
he has very bad OCD.
Yeah.
And that's part of it.
Okay.
Especially when he's nervous, it gets worse. So it's kind of like Tourette's. But you know, when you have autism, they just say everything's autism.
Yes, they do.
So
we put it all under the same umbrella.
Yeah. Very hard to treat when they do that.
So pregnancy and birth, normal?
Pretty normal. He was very big. So as far as, normal.
And then did he hit his milestones?
Yeah, he was, except for the speech. I think when he was 1, he could say apple, but everything else like walking and crawling and,
Yeah, that was pretty on target.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't get the babbling, and he was my first, so I didn't notice all the red flags.
Right.
And he was in early intervention, and I was like, I had no idea he had autism. I was just like, oh, he's got ADD. He's all over the place. He's got ADD.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I remember the early interventionist was like, you should just get him tested. And I was like, oh, I'll get him tested. They're probably just going to say he has ADD. But and they told me when he had autism, I was pretty shocked because his son, was so affectionate, still is very affectionate, and always looked at me in the eyes. He wasn't preschool. He was, when he was diagnosed, he was in preschool. And it was funny because a few days after I got his diagnosis, they called me to talk to me. And I was like, I don't know. And they were like, yeah. I mean, because usually sometimes it's this schools that see something, they see neurotypical kids all day. So I never babysat. I didn't remember, my nieces are 10 years older than him. So I didn't remember that far back,
Right.
So anyway.
So you didn't realize that,
No, but when I had my second, I was like, oh, so this is what they do. This, because I have friends that tell me now, they're like, I didn't want to say anything to you. I'm like, I wish you did, because I wouldn't have kept vaccinating. And he was on a selective schedule. I used to be like, I am still earthy crunchy, but my husband was not, and so met in the middle. And I was like, okay, well, let's just do a little poison.
Don't say the V word, because they'll
flag it. Okay.
Yeah.
So we just we were on a selective schedule.
Yeah.
And then he seemed fine. I'm like, oh, he's tolerating it well. And then there was one preschool that made me nervous, and they were like, well, you need to. Yeah, they were like kind of pushing the V's.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, maybe I could just do 4 this time, or 3, and see, and he'll be okay. Because he's been okay up to 1 each time.
Yeah.
But he wasn't, but I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know. So anyway.
Yeah. So when did the diagnosis of autism come? How old was he? He was preschool, you said.
Yeah, 2 years old.
So, he was only 2.
Yeah, he was only 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was early. It was more like a daycare type thing. I wanted him to get. I was like, because we would do circle time and see like things like that. He'd go after everybody's sippy cup instead of dancing circle time.
Oh, okay.
And that would drive like, okay, I'm just here trying to stop him from taking everyone's sippy cups. Do you remember that? He was upset.
All right. So then, okay. So they brought you in when he was only 2 years old. So, and then that was a daycare. So did he stay there for a while? Like, what did he do as far as school goes?
I pulled him out and I say, okay, ABA. I was going in full throttle. I was like,
Uh-huh.
let's do this. We can cure it. You know, and I'm never like, I'm never gonna. I wasn't accepting defeat. I was like, we can. You know, I was thinking very positive. I was like, he'll be like an Asperger type kid.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's more on the pretty severe end of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
He's brilliant,
Mm-hmm.
but he can't control his body or what he says. So it
Right.
sucks because he's literally trapped.
Yeah. Well, that's that good old apraxia.
Yeah.
So then, did you put him in school? Like, what happens around like kindergarten age?
So we are. He did end up going. So we did ABA until kindergarten, pre-K. He did pre-K and then kindergarten, I think. So I'm trying to think back. Yes. So pre-K he did fine, and the teacher was great with him. And then kindergarten, this was called the Nature of Things Academy. I'm going to say it right now because I did actually end up trying to sue them. I don't know what happened because pandemic happened and our lawyer, I don't know. I don't even think he dropped the ball. The kindergarten teacher, and I had an ABA, my own appointed ABA therapist with him all day long. And she would just tell me things like he was basically being the scapegoat. There were kids with other issues there, you know, and my son is very smart. And if he didn't like the teacher, and he picked up a lot, he was very smart.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't like something, he'd find a way to get out of it. So him being a little naughty was getting out of the classroom, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So just a lot of things happened. And they called me in and basically kicked us out.
Oh.
You know what they said to me? They said, well, what are you trying to get out of this? And I basically broke down and cried because you would never ask the parent of a neurotypical child, obviously in education.
Right.
Sorry, he hates when I cry.
Oh.
Anyway.
Mommy, Joey did.
Anyway, we ended up doing ABA for a little while till I figured out. I scrambled to put him in another school, and it was a national public school. We were in New Hampshire at the time, and they were great. But the pandemic happened, and then I had to, you know, homeschool him, which really sucked because I'm not a teacher, terrible teacher. I tried. And I also had a young child at home at the time too. But then he ended up getting one of the most wonderful kindergarten teacher after the pandemic. She was just wonderful. Had I known, I don't know. I thought automatically it was like the public school is going to be bad, you know. But
yeah,
I guess it depends on the teacher.
Yeah.
And she was just amazing.
So it was just a regular kindergarten in public school with neurotypical kids?
No, it was. I mean, he had to go to the one down the street from my house. Happened to be the one where more of the severe children would go.
Oh, okay.
And it was still like, you know, technically our zone school, but he did wonderful. He did great.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And then we moved.
So, and then he stayed there for a while. So he's 11 now, right? So
yes, he just turned 11. So he's entering 6th grade.
Yeah. Let's talk about your spelling journey. How did you find out about spelling?
I had heard about it, and then I read J.B. Hanley's book. Then we had moved, and
Did you already know who J.B. was before he wrote the book? That you're talking about Underestimated, right?
Yes, Underestimated.
Yeah. Well, just because you said you were crunchy, so a lot of crunchy people already know who he is.
I've been in all the biomed. I'm in like every biomed book pretty much, and I've done almost everything.
Okay.
So I kind of know all the biomed people out there. Right. Some of them I talk to more than like my own friends. So yeah, I read the book. Then I kind of sat on it because we were moving, and then when we were.
And how long ago was this?
He was 7.5 when we started.
Okay, so that's a few years ago.
Yeah, 7.5, and I just happened to be in a good area because it was like a 2.5 hour drive north was the Spellers. I think it's called the Speller Center now. They've changed names with Dana.
Oh, Dana Johnson.
Dana Johnson, yeah.
Oh, that's in Florida.
Yeah, that's where we moved to Florida.
Oh, because you said New Hampshire. So
yeah,
that's a big move.
Yeah, so the New
From
Hampshire.
the snow to the sun. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so we started with a 3-day intensive. He was spelling with her. And I'm not going to lie, it was not easy. It was hard. He was so dysregulated. And I understand why. Extremely dysregulated. And then after that, we
moving have part to do with it, do you think? Or?
Well, he was already acclimated by then.
Okay.
Months in. And yeah, but moving, he didn't, he was like depressed. Him and my dog were depressed. My little one was fine, but it's too much. It was a big, huge change. You remember Dad? He would like literally be on the couch just moping, asking me every day when we're moving to New Hampshire, back home.
But does he like the water though?
Oh, he loves the water. Now he loves
that one autistic kid that didn't like the water.
Right. We have a pool, and he's a fish. We call him the
mermaid.
mermaid.
That's what I was. Well, that's what I was gonna say, Reagan. That's the nice thing about living in Florida is you can swim every day.
You can interject anytime you want.
All year long, you can swim if you live in Florida. Not in New Hampshire. It's too cold. Don't do anything yet.
He loves swimming. He loves and he loves it here too. He calls this the cozy house. This is our New Hampshire house.
Well, you go back.
We come here in the summer. I know you do. We have a house in New Hampshire because my husband's business is close by, and also I like to get out of Florida in the summer because it's just.
So you're in New Hampshire now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because well, I don't know what the temperature is there, but it's about 105 here in New Jersey today, and Florida's up in the 80s.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. It's really hot today. Yesterday was even hotter.
Yeah.
I don't mind it because the dry heat doesn't bother me. And
no, it's like 100% humidity here too. And at least in New Hampshire, it's much nicer in the summer.
So we're enjoying our summer break. His brother is in camp, and we're just hanging out and trying to. He likes me to plan activities daily.
Of course. Yeah.
So we do stuff. Although today he said, "Mommy goes to boring. Mommy's." What did you say? Mommy goes to lame stores. I took him to the mall because it was hot and I didn't know where else to go. We went to the pool yesterday.
Right.
So,
okay, so you went to go see Dana Johnson.
Yes.
Very dysregulated.
Yes.
So how long did you see her? Did you get anything out of it?
We got some great tips, and then we just started at home. Then we went back to see her. I think we saw her. We did 3 intensives with her. I can't remember if the second one my husband went because I was like, I wanted my husband to spell with it, but they didn't really. I should have just gone because he never spelled with him, so it was a waste. I wish I had gone to that one. So then we just went for refreshers here and there. I think we're good now. He was open after about a year. So,
after a year. Okay.
Yeah. After 1 year.
After working with you for a year?
Working with me. There was nobody around. I didn't have a choice.
Right. So you saw Dana like 3 times and then it was then
it was
all you.
I did a parent training online, but to be honest, that didn't help me. I'm not good online. Like I could never do like online college or something.
Right. The hands-on is better for you.
Yeah. So I need to be there. I mean, I got some tips. I understood more about dysregulation, but
yeah.
So we did like lessons for the first year. There's tons of free lessons out there.
On.
Hi.
You go back to the house today. Twice you go.
6 weeks, Reagan.
So he's how old at this time?
21 days.
7?
11. Yeah.
No, at the time we're talking about when he went to see Dana, when he first started spelling.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just thinking what's age appropriate at 7 years old, right? So I'm sure, so you were doing age appropriate lessons for him then at 7.
Yeah.
So did you find out that he could spell when you started doing that, like that he knew how to read, or did he not?
I was reading the lessons. I didn't know he could read. Obviously I knew he could
But
read.
in order for him to answer you, he has to know how to spell the word.
Oh, but like visually, we have some problems with reading because of convergence insufficiency. So there's that.
What is that?
So it's basically how the words come out distorted. They look distorted. So he wears prism glasses.
Oh.
A lot of kids with apraxia actually have it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's even harder to read.
Mm-hmm.
On top of everything else they have to deal with. So if the words are bigger, spaced out, like I try to use this keyboard. It's nice and the right letter, and then he wears his glasses, so he's good. Sometimes he'll go to the right of a letter that he needs, but he gets better with practice. He's doing great.
Mommy, my glasses.
Those are your glasses. Do you want to wear them? You don't have to.
No, I don't have to.
Okay.
No,
All right.
So he's on a keyboard now.
Mommy will. And then
Okay, I'll wear your glasses. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
So he's on a keyboard now.
Yes.
not pull up.
So he
Yeah.
worked his way up from the letterboard to the laminate to the keyboard.
Yeah, we started the stencils, 3
Yep.
stencils
Yep.
to 1 stencil
Yep.
to laminate
Mm-hmm.
to keyboard.
Okay.
I don't really connect it to anything because it's just easier. I'm just talking, you know.
Where are your glasses?
If they had,
Oh, okay.
we have Proloquo, but
Right.
I don't connect it. It's just sometimes we just have connection issues with this.
Oh,
thing.
okay. Just so people that understand how this works too, when you say that he's open, that means you've gotten to the point where it's not just like 1-word answers for a lesson. You've worked up to the point where you can have an actual conversation with him and ask him questions and he'll answer you.
Yes.
All right. So then he types on the keyboard, and what do? You just look. Do you hold it for him, the keyboard? Do you hold
Yes.
it up?
Yeah, I just hold it up.
Okay, but it's not connected to a computer or anything that's going to spell anything out. You're just watching what letter he hits, and you're just.
Right, because it's just easier. It's more handy. Otherwise, I have to connect it.
Mhm.
It's easier that way. Now, if they sold something with a big keyboard that could speak and didn't sound so robotic, I would buy it. But they have one that's smaller and it speaks and it sounds robotic. So I'm just having a hard time finding what's appropriate. And that's not super heavy because I have to hold it. Even this is heavy. After a while, it's.
Yeah, because I interviewed, do you know Honey Ritastella from the Spelling
Yes.
movie? I interviewed her, or talked to her the other day with Vince, and his, whatever device he was using spoke back to us, but it sounded robotic.
Yeah, I know which one that is.
But yeah,
I mean, I'll think about it. It is, the keys are a little smaller, so.
I'm not sure because I didn't really see the keys because they were kind of holding it off camera, so I don't know how big it is. Just curious at the different devices that everybody's using. I read an article somewhere where there was a young man who from England or Scotland or something like that, and he had a device and he was able to choose the voice, and it sounded like him. Like he was so happy because the voice sounded like him.
I have to ask my friend because a friend of mine from Facebook, another biomed mom, she had a special recording done for her son's voice using my son's voice. Her son was, nonverbal, and plus to get the voice to whatever they do, I'm not sure.
With AI can do anything these days.
Yes, but my younger son had to say probably like 100 words.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I could get Reagan to say that many without him getting, 100 sentences. It was a lot. It was a lot. Even my son, who, this was like last year, 8 at the time, he was like getting stressed out. My youngest first-level son. I was like, oh gosh, this is taking a long time.
Yeah.
But they ended up doing it, and then I got a sample. They sent me a sample just to see what it sounded like, and it did sound like it. It was really cute.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what device it hooks up to, but it's a company that does design the voice for you, and then device. I have no clue.
So, but what he's doing now, though, is, to me, that's a big switch from a regular stencil that's A, B, C, D, E, F, G in a row to what it looks like on your keyboard, like the letters all in different places.
Yes. No, it was hard at first. It took a little while.
It was hard, for him to get used to that.
I mean, it took some time, but when he puts his mind to it, last summer he wasn't on the keyboard, and I told him, listen, you get on the keyboard, the world's going to open up a little more for you. It'll be easier, and they really want you at school to do it. And the only problem is he still will only spell with certain people. He's not like a free keyboard. He's not going to be like in the other room typing away doing his homework. No.
Right.
I have to be. He needs somebody there.
Right.
I mean, so there's only a few people so far. Like there's 2 CRPs we work with.
Yeah.
And me.
Okay. Yeah, but not with Dad.
Nope. No.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Well, you need to be consistent and talk and do it like almost every day. I've been telling him that. So, and I know his brother would eventually want to, Reagan, be careful. You're going to hurt your feet. Will eventually want to be able to do it too. So, I mean, at school, I'm trying to tell them, like, you can't just go up to him and just hold the keyboard out and think he's going to talk to you. You're dysregulating him, first of all. You can't do that.
I was going to say, you have to be regulated too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. totally. Like there's so many times I'm like, we have to stop because mommy's not regulated.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to go on. I'm like, I have to stop.
Oh, he wants to talk more?
Sometimes he wants to talk, like it has to be on his
terms.
Yes. Yeah. On his terms.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, Reagan.
What about me happen?
I don't know what we're doing yet. Okay. Let me think about it.
So he speaks.
Yes.
So is he considered an unreliable speaker?
Yes. Yes. Unreliable, but unless he has certain demands.
Right.
And a lot of things like when people start talking to him and asking him questions, I'm like, I didn't really mean that, or I have to follow it up with a keyboard. Certain words and sentences that he says all the time. Yeah, that comes easy to him. Where are we going? Where are we going tomorrow? Yeah. Or he starts his schedule. He likes schedules, but can't have a conversation. Like that's where the keyboard comes in. You know, that's where he is able to learn at his level, which is he's very gifted. So that's where he's able to learn at his level and have an open conversation with somebody, deep conversations.
Well, so when did you realize that he was gifted?
When he started, well, I know every parent says, "My kid's so smart." I mean, when he was, how old were you? Walking around 2.5, 2, younger, already knew all the alphabet. Would walk around and the alphabet and numbers.
Alphabet and numbers. So is he good at math?
Oh yeah, he's already doing algebra. He, I really realized it when he started his school. I don't think I'm supposed to name stuff, but I do love his school.
Mm-hmm.
There's a school in Boca that I did name another school though. I hope that's okay. The one I didn't like, but I didn't say where it was. And then there was another school. So there was 2 schools we went to when we moved to Florida. The first one was terrible. Mm-hmm. There were some good teachers there, but the second one, the second year he started there. The first year was fine. He wasn't like overly happy, but he wasn't like sad. He never came home crying or anything. And then the second year we ended up pulling him out by November, because just some really bad stuff happened. Mm-hmm. First thing that happened was somebody called him the R word. And that actually was the most open he had ever been because he was so upset. I've never seen my son to this day that upset because he was guttural crying. Oh. When I came up from school, they were like, he's upset because so-and-so left, this is why apraxia sucks. He's not upset because a teacher left to go to a doctor's appointment. Honestly, they're less.
Right.
When we got home, I go, Reagan wants to talk to me. I don't even know if he remembers, but he listens to everything. He's listening now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he told me somebody called him the R word.
Yeah.
And then I ended up pulling him out.
So he spelled that for you when he got home?
Yeah, he spelled out the whole word. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying he spelled out like the whole sentence. Like,
oh, yeah.
Everything that went on. Yeah.
And who did it and everything. Yeah. But he wouldn't say it at first. He didn't want to get somebody in trouble. It took 15 minutes to get him to talk.
Yeah.
And then once he talked, it was like the floodgates open. Mm-hmm. And then a couple other things happened that he didn't like at the school. They definitely did not presume competence, and they were not on board with spelling to communicate. And I was going to ask about that too, because the schools usually are not. Yeah, it was a private school. I'm like, I'll train them. I will have somebody come in and train them. And they were like, yeah, sure, that sounds great. But nothing ever came to fruition. I was like, okay, you guys are dragging your feet. Anyway, we were out of there, and I homeschooled for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. And that's when I was like, this kid's really smart. He's brilliant. That's also when I realized he was.
What age was this?
3rd grade. He went to that school for 2nd grade. I pulled him out in early 3rd grade. Then we homeschooled. I was trying to find pods. I couldn't find anything. We homeschooled, and that's when I realized he's really smart. He was just blowing through Khan Academy. And I'm the one who's sitting there. I'm like, I don't remember this stuff. I have to learn.
Yeah.
We learned this math and everything. So when we did cool stuff. It was getting lonely though, because there was no other students. And I think he wanted to be around other kids. And he was also getting everything wrong. I was like, listen, something's up here. I was like, I just point blank asked him after like 30 times happening. I was like, Reagan, I didn't ask him. First I tricked him, and then I asked him. And then in my mind, I said, you are cheating or cheater. And he was spelling out cheater. And then he looked at me like, And I was like, I got you. I go, Reagan.
I said snap.
Yeah. I said, why didn't you tell me?
A snap.
And he said he likes that. He likes getting them right. So he wanted to make me happy because he thought it made me happy. I'm like, it makes me happy when you do your own work. So it's not like he's been cheating the whole time. It's just after that, I would have to ask him a question and just repeat some nonsense in my head. And he was still getting things right. But I just couldn't.
Okay, wait. Back up. He's cheating how? What are we talking about? How is he cheating?
Telepathically.
Okay, so we've got onto telepathy here. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I think I have ADD, so I'm going to be all over the place. Hi.
Listen, I feel like everybody all my friends, like everybody I know has ADHD, so I'm used to it because they switch topics like this, and I'm like, wait, hold on. Oh, okay, we've changed topics. Let's go back. Let's get off the rabbit trail here. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. So you're working with him on stuff, and you know the answer in your head, and then he types the answer, but it's not that he knew the answer. He was listening to you in your head.
The wrong answer. We're both getting the wrong answer, which is the sad thing. I was like, I got the wrong answer too. So we're both getting the wrong answer. If we were both getting the right answer, I was like, oh, but the same exact wrong answer. Something was up.
Yeah.
I'll just do more after if you just settle down. Okay.
Okay. So now you know.
Yes. Now I know.
He's telepathic on top of it.
I tested him. I showed my husband, and I was like, well, let's test him. And we did our little tests. I was like, I'm going to go in the other room and you do this and that. So my husband was a believer too.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, did he believe it? All right. So after the test, then he believes it.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it only with you, or can he do it with other people?
He does it with some other people too.
Like his CRPs or?
Yes.
What? Yeah. So it's the people that are in his space that he's happy with. So he does it with lessons. When else do you see it?
Whenever if I'm sitting there quiet texting, I know he's tentative. He's like over here listening.
He's kind of paid attention to what you're texting.
Paying attention. Yeah. And
does he want you to always be paying attention to him?
Not always. No. I mean, he gets jealous. But
that's what I mean, because babies do that. Like as soon as mommy gets on the phone, they start acting out because they want you to pay attention to them. But he's getting older now. But I'm just wondering, like if you're texting, it's like you're talking to somebody else. You're not paying attention to them.
Right. And he's pretty good. He's good. I mean, he definitely needs a lot of attention.
Yeah.
As far as, especially for going out, he still gets dysregulated.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting better, but he has PANS. So we have a whole.
Oh, he's got that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Did he have strep?
No, it's not. There's no strep. It's just there's other factors. It's gut. Usually the trigger is gut. It's always been the trigger so far. He does get IVIG every month. His brother has PANS too. His brother's triggers they vary. Definitely mold is one, but his brother's is pretty much 80% under control. 85. I'd say 85.
What are the symptoms?
For Reagan, his is aggression, irritability, sometimes like a psychotic behavior, volatility.
How did you figure out that it was PANS?
They saw a neurologist, they got tested, but they were tested before too by a clinical observation when they were younger.
Right.
And then they do have a neurologist we see who did, he ran all the tests, Cunningham panel, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So
that's been coming up in a couple of interviews. I have to interview somebody, a doctor about PANS. What?
The PANS is far worse than the autism.
Oh.
It's so hard. It's the ups and downs, the constant gut issues, the flares from that. It's a lot. And I feel really bad. He knows when his body's not working right.
So do you have to give him a special diet?
He is gluten and dairy free, but we kind of cheat at restaurants because it's getting like ridiculous every time we go. And I want my kids to have a little bit of a life, especially in the summer, and we're a little more lenient. Like, they'll have butter. I'm not going to give him a big piece of cheese or ice cream, Yeah. But he's a pretty healthy eater, whole foods for the most part, but he does like snacks, like chips.
Yeah. Yeah. Is he allowed to have that?
I give him chips. I know I shouldn't. Yeah. The other day he told me I'm eating too much junk food since we came here for vacation.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks now. And I said, I know. our diet's been a little off and it's not as clean as I'd
Yeah.
like it. And I was like, how does it make you feel when you eat junk food? He said, irritable. I was like, well, but his apraxia is telling him to ask for stuff all the time, So,
Yeah. Can we get him to come spell for us a little bit, do you think, or is he busy?
Yeah, let me get it. Okay.
Hi, Reagan.
You want to wear your glasses? You'll be
Yeah,
able to.
glasses.
Oh, can I clean them?
Okay.
They're very dirty. I'll give them right back. Usually when Reagan spells, he has some filler words or a first word he likes to use. Right now, it's please. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes
It's what?
So like right now, it's please.
Please. Okay.
To like start. It's just how he gets his body ready.
Sure.
Is to spell a certain word and then you can kind of go on.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Good job. Your hands are nice and dry.
Glasses.
Go.
Glasses.
Yeah.
Wow. What's it?
Glasses.
All right, Reagan, what grade are you going to be in when you go back to school?
Are you going to answer the question? Or are you going to start spelling on?
Answer the question.
I and in S I X T H 6 G R A D E. Great. You want me to lift it?
Okay. Do you have a
You
favorite, do you have a favorite subject in school? Like, do you like math or something else better?
Nah.
Math. He's spelling math too.
Do you think you're smarter than the other kids in math?
No kids.
N-O. No.
No?
N-O-T. I not A-S as S-M-A-R-T. I not as smart. M-Y. My. V-E-R-Y. My very. N. My very. Was it M or N? M.
Susan G.
My very. M.
Steve Hill.
I.
Tunnel.
N. Do we want to start over? My very. M. Y. My. You got it. M. O. M. My mom. My mom. I. S. Is. N. O. T. Not V. E. R. Y.
President Robinson.
N. O.
No,
Sorry.
I'm not. It's not working.
Let's
Press
check.
it.
Okay. M.
And press it.
M. You pressed it.
Itchy.
Are you okay? He's got nervous itches. M. O. M. Mom. T. O. O. S. A. D. T. O. D. A. Y. Mom too sad today. This is what I mean. Isn't really answered. Sometimes he goes off and wants to talk.
Right. Well, maybe. Well, I mean, you have to be regulated to spell with him, and he's probably picking up. He's picking up on you.
Right. And you want to say anything else?
Williams.
I want to know what your special gifts are. Do you have anything that you think is special that you can do that maybe some other kids can't do? Like your mom already told me that you can hear her thoughts. You know other people can't do that, right? You know that's something special that you can do?
You want to talk? Do you have any other special gifts? I H-E-A-R. I hear what? You got this. N-O-I-S-E. Noise. I hear noise.
I hear noise. God.
I and in.
That's where you got me.
You're doing great. I hear noise in. M-Y. My. refocusing. B.
Why?
Okay. I hear noise. Let's finish this sentence because I feel like you're going to go off on another one. I hear noise in my what? You got this.
No, we are.
You got it. H-E-A-D. Head.
Colin.
L-I-E. Sorry. Like.
Rice.
Like my.
Peanut butter rice.
Like my. M.
No crackle bars.
And don't, you're gonna stop swearing. Like my mind. I. S is M-O-R-E. More. Like my mind is more. You're doing so well. B. Okay, not B. N. I'm gonna do N or B. Which one?
B.
N or B?
B.
Just point. M. M. M.
And
O-R-E. More what? More
sorry. Giant heel paw.
I.
16.
It's starting to not make sense. So this is when I tell him to stop.
He
Can't.
hears noise. He hears noise in his head. Well, that could be other voices, or is it music that you hear in your head, or you hear? I know some kids that they hear the Wi-Fi from the computer, and it starts to bother them because they can hear the frequencies of things. I know kids that when they hear music, they can see colors, or when they look at people, they see different colors on them.
Okay, right. If you're done, you can get up or you can continue.
Some kids can hear, they hear the trees and the rocks and the Wi-Fi and all those kind of things. That's why they have all these sounds.
What are you hearing?
Because it's the frequencies. They hear the frequencies of everything.
E-A-R. I hear B.
Ravioli.
B. You want to go with the B? I hear B.
Giant ravioli.
O. I hear B-O-I-S. T-E-R-O-U-S. I hear boisterous. L-A-U-G-H. T-E-R. Laughter.
This pump.
M-I-N-D. Mind.
We're talking
N-O. Mind, not V-E-R-Y. Very.
Spaghetti.
C-L-E-A-R. Clear.
Clear.
T-O-D-A-Y. He said his mind's not very clear today.
Okay. Reagan, do you go to the hill? You could just say yes or no.
Yes.
Yes. I wonder if that's where you're hearing all the boisterous laughter from.
No.
Are you okay?
No, it's not coming from the hill.
I want an ice cream cake.
Okay.
I want to.
I-N-O-T. I not M-A-K-E. I not make. M-Y-S-E-L-F. I not make myself. C-L-E-A-R. Oh, you not make yourself clear. Okay, I'm sorry. What did you want to say? Do you hear boisterous laughter? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Did you want to expand on that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Who's laughing? Who do you hear laughing?
Mommy.
No, on the keyboard. I-N-O-T-S-U-R-E. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Oh, you're not sure.
It. S-C-A-R-E-S. Scares. Me scares me. N-O-T-S. L-I-K-E, not like, I-T, not like it. Do you hear it all day long or just at night?
Just that night.
Is that why you need your night lights?
Justine Brian.
M
16. Erica.
O S
Miss Erica.
T L Y, mostly N
Shut up.
E D, mostly need. L I G H T, light.
Shut up.
T O, to.
Shut up. Shit.
B
Shit.
E, to be.
Blue talkie so up.
To be.
Shut up.
Sorry. You need light to be what? I and in.
That was so.
I need light to be
That was
in.
so.
Don't, no swearing, Reagan. You can stim on other words while you spell. Okay.
Peanut butter.
C-O-N-T-R-O-L. Control. I need light to be in control. O and of. S-P-I-R-I-T-S, spirit. So there's another thing that we deal with.
Yes.
The
Well,
little
that
blue
was my other question. Do you see angels?
Sometimes I don't know what. Come here, buddy. You might not. Last time I asked him, he didn't know, but I wanted to answer.
Yeah. Well, he's seeing spirits. He might not know. Yeah.
It's
Some kids they see angels, they see demons, they see people that have died.
Yes.
I've heard all of it.
He's told me before, people who just died, like newly deceased. I think he said newly deceased people.
Mm-hmm.
It used to freak him out. So we do have his night lights because otherwise, I understandably would be freaked out too. He's just a kid. Are you done, Reagan, or do you want to talk a little bit more about what you're seeing? You might help other kids to know they're not alone.
Well, it might not be a pleasant subject.
Yeah.
Do you pray with him before he goes to bed?
No.
Yeah.
No, he does love church. He's
Yeah.
very spiritual. He loves to listen to Christian music.
Yep.
Yep,
they're all very spiritual.
He's he will not speak ill of anybody. He'll love to tell me when I'm wrong, though.
Yep.
Loves to tell me when I'm doing wrong. But he will not speak ill of someone, even if they've done him wrong. Ever.
Yeah. Yeah, geez, this is like the sixth sense, right?
Yeah. So yeah, we're dealing with a lot. I didn't even know like what to.
What did you think when that stuff started coming out?
Oh, so I'm like very open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
And I would ask him stuff, and he knew stuff. He knew stuff about like my brother that passed when he was going to be 10. He was like a month shy of his 10th birthday, you know. And I don't know if he's tapping into thoughts. It's not like I sit there thinking about how horrible my brother's life was. He had a lot of medical issues.
Mm-hmm.
But he knew everything about.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad recently passed, and he said he's talked to my dad. My dad's told him stuff. Yeah, stuff that's happened.
Right.
So, and then there's the random spirits that he's not happy, like with people he doesn't recognize. You know.
Yeah.
No one's he said no malevolent, because I said, are they malevolent? He said no, not malevolent, just strangers. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to tell him because I don't know what to do. I said, can you just tell him to, go away. We don't want to talk.
Can he do that?
I don't know if he does it or if he does it in his head, or
yeah.
I don't hear him, but I mean, sometimes he's up pretty late. You can hear him.
Yeah.
You over here?
And a lot of parents don't realize what's going on in the middle of the night with these kids because they all get up and they're like having conversations. They're cracking up laughing in the room. They're like, what in the world is going on here?
Like 3:00 in the morning the other day.
It's always 3:00.
Yeah, and I was like, great, and I wake up to everything. I'm still, it's like I still have infants. And I go in, I go, you all right? He's like, yeah. And he's like wide awake. And then the next day I asked him, he said he was on the hill.
Oh, he's on the hill. Yeah. Okay.
And he was, and then last year I was like, you said you didn't. This is last week we discovered he's on the hill now. I asked him, I was like, hey, did you ever hear about the hill? And he said, no. This was last year. Last summer, or no, was it Christmas? We were here.
Okay.
And then I was like, you said you didn't go on the hill. You didn't know what it was. He's like, he's like, I didn't. I do now.
Oh,
But
huh. I wonder how he found it.
I don't know. I asked him, but it's hard. Sometimes I ask him a question and he was just going to talk about what he wants to talk about.
Right.
And then he will go on and on about that
Mm-hmm.
for 30 minutes sometimes. And then I forget what I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm like, what were we,
Mm-hmm.
He just goes off on a tangent.
Right.
So I let him do what he wants. I'm like, maybe he needs to let it out. And then sometimes I'll go back to it. And if he's not ready to talk about it, he's not going to talk about it. That's what I need to learn. Because sometimes I'm impatient and I want the answer. And I'm like, oh, he just doesn't want to talk about it. And when he's spelling, you see how he was saying like some swear words and just a lot of verbal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's his way of regulating himself.
Okay.
I said, use other words.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was yelling. He does it a lot with me and less with the CRP. I think he's more regulated with her. She's so like chill. I'm just not a chill person.
Yeah.
I wish I was. I'm just not. I'm not wired that way.
Mm-hmm. What's he doing now?
He's self-regulating with the ball. He bounces it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I see you watching him. I see your eyes going back and forth, like you're trying to keep an eye on him. He's all over the place. All right. I think he's probably done spelling for us. I think he's had enough for today. So, all right. So he's going back to school. He's going back to 6th grade. I'm curious about the telepathy when he's in school, because I've talked to people where they said when they were in school, they were not presuming competence at all, and they were teaching them, in special ed.
Yeah.
And they learned from telepathically listening to the teacher talking in the other room, teaching the other kids.
Reagan, can I ask you one more question? Because I don't know how he knows the things he does.
Right.
I know people are like, well, don't you ask all these questions? I'm like, but if you see what's happening, I can ask the question. It's not always fully.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you so smart? Like, how did you learn all this stuff?
Chicken seafood sandwich.
I M-A-K-E. I make M-Y. I make my at my.
You don't like that?
Okay. I make my M-Y. My B-R-A-I-N. I make my brain L-E-A-R-N. Learn. T-H-R-O-U-G-H through L. Through what? Is it L or P? L. I. S-T-E-N-I-N-G. Listening. T-O-2. Listening to. M-Y-T-M-Y. M-Y. Listening to my. It's okay. You got it. Listening to my what? Let me shift. Hold on. We got this. Listening to my. It's always a cliffhanger. I'm like, please finish.
Yeah, right. Just give us that last word.
Sometimes you don't get to it and then left on a cliffhanger. Come here. You got this. You got it. One more word.
I'll give you.
Yeah, I make my brain learn by listening to my.
Listening to my. Listening to M. U. Okay. Sorry, one of the letter X. M-U. C-H. Much. M-O-R-E. Much more. You got to use the whole keyboard. You keep veering to the right. Not everything begins with an M or a P or an L. M-O-R-E. More.
I don't like spelling Hanover.
More. T-E-A-C-H. teachers.
Hey.
NOTBY, not by.
Not, I don't know spelling. No, I want to talk about not by under wheel. I want to talk to them one.
Okay, Reagan.
Get your
Don't
ass.
do that. Don't hurt yourself. All right, we're done. Reagan's done. You can, no, not if you're gonna hurt yourself. Did you trying to say you learned by listening to your teachers? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Why are you getting upset? You're doing a great job.
You are. You're doing a great job.
Okay? You're doing a
Thank
great
you,
job.
Reagan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for spelling for me.
15, 10.
He's just doing stuff he never does, like pick his nose. Now it's a thing because he's a camera here. Yeah, but he has it's like Tourette's when they say the worst things they could possibly say or do the worst things.
Yeah.
Oh, you have something to say?
No.
Okay,
You know you can have.
No, not right now. I'm busy.
Taste.
I-N-E-E-D. I need. T-O-2. I need to. B-E. I need to be.
Underwear.
I need to be.
Underwear.
M-O-R-E. I need to be more.
No.
R-E-G-U.
No.
E-D. I need to be more regulated. He does. Sometimes
I'm still so hungry.
right, you can sit over there until I'm done. He doesn't, if he's not regulated, he won't make sense.
Right.
He does best at night before bed when I'm exhausted. I'm like, oh, best.
Yeah.
Like right before bed. We'll sit on his bed and he tells me all this stuff.
Right.
All right, go regulate, Reagan. You're good. You're good, buddy. Okay. This is why I wanted you to say something before because I knew you were going to be a little bit dysregulated.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, I think you need to go get regulated too. This gets stressful, right? I can see that it can be stressful. Yes. And I can see why parents have trouble doing this with their kids.
It's frustrating because you want to know so much. And it's frustrating to him. And then he feels my frustration. It's like, what's that word? Sometimes he's telling me stuff that it's kind of scary. And I'm like, now you got to tell me. So I have to bribe him. I'm like, listen, you got to tell me because this is important.
Yeah.
So, but then he starts to get dysregulated.
Yes.
And then he doesn't like if I get sad about stuff. So it's hard for him. So I really have to reel my own emotions in. I'm a very sensitive person.
I'm sensitive.
This one is too.
Yeah.
He feels everybody's pain. Everybody.
Right. You're both empaths.
Well, he is 10 times the empath.
Yes.
Very, very, very.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. I'm going to let you go. But thank you for being with us today because this is good because sometimes we bring spellers on and they just sit there and they just spell nicely and everything is all like a nice, neat package. And it's not always like that.
Right.
You know, sometimes it's a lot of work to get them to sit still and to concentrate and to get the whole sentence out. And, it's a lot of work. So I want other parents to see that this is,
right.
No. It can take some people years before they even become open.
I try to, so for any parents listening out there, my biggest pet peeve is hearing parents say, oh, my kid, he has the cognition of a 2-year-old. There's no way. I hate that. Like, how do you test someone who's a praxic?
Right.
Their IQ. You don't. You can't. So don't underestimate your kids. You could be the worst case and do not underestimate your kids. Your kids can feel it. It's okay. I'll bounce it in 1 second.
And the other thing that I want to drive home to parents is it's very possible your kids can hear your thoughts.
Yeah. If you don't have faith in them, then who will? You're their parents. If you don't, then God, they've got to feel so hopeless. So he knows I'm his biggest advocate.
Right.
And spelling is hard. With some kids, it takes, like, we were lucky. It took Reagan a year. Some kids, it takes a lot longer. And some kids don't start spelling right away.
Right.
Like we spelled, we were at it every single day. Even if it's only 5 minutes, you have to work at it.
Yeah.
You have to make the time. So if you want to talk to your kid, you have to put the work in. And you have to be ready to, they're going to hit you sometimes and scratch and scream. And all the things. But
right. And their apraxic body's going to want to get up and run away. And
it's a lot of, because can you imagine not being able to speak, and then all of a sudden there's something that can help you speak to the people that love you the most in the world, and how much anxiety you have. There's so much riding on that you do it. So I can't imagine. Like I understand why he had so much anxiety when we first started, and he still gets anxiety. So,
but I think it'll probably get better over time.
Yeah.
You know, as he gets older, just in general, as kids get older, they calm down a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
He's young and he's a bundle of energy right now. And he's 11, so you're on the cusp of hitting puberty too.
Yeah.
So wait for that bundle of joy to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just constant adrenaline running through their body.
Yes.
My typical son said to me one time, he's like, "Mom, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just feel so angry all the time." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, it's hormones. You know, it will calm down eventually."
I'll have one going through puberty and me going through perimenopause.
Yeah, right. Both of your hormones are like, woo.
Great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think your husband's gonna want to drop you in Florida and go back to New Hampshire. All right. Well, thank you guys for being on here today. I really appreciate you sharing your story and giving us a little bit of insight into the spelling, but also once again, another kid with telepathic ability and spiritual gifts. That's why I kind of wasn't surprised. That's why I said, what else are your gifts? Because they seem to all have something.
Right. And, I still find out surprises all the time from him.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot more that you just don't know yet.
Right.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you go. All right. Thanks for being here today. Have a great day.
Thanks. Bye-bye.